We are talking about the seemingly imminent now government shutdown and the political fallout surrounding it. And I want to bring in Congressman James Lankford. He's a Republican from Oklahoma to get his reaction to what happened last night. And Congressman, I guess I'll just... It looks like, we have every indication from the Senate, from Harry Reid, that they are going to take out this Obamacare language that you guys put in yesterday. They are going to send this right back to you. And when you get it back, the government will probably be, at that point, in the process of shutting down. So you get this bill back. You have a government that's shut down. And I guess I'd ask you, what do you do then?
We're waiting to see what the Senate does. Obviously, we sent over to the Senate 3 different pieces last night. We had unanimous support for a piece that we sent over that said that the military would be paid, veterans would be paid, the civilians that are around the military to make sure the troops are there. Bipartisan, wide support, unanimous support for that, to send that over to the Senate. Hope the Senate takes that up immediately so the military is not used as a victim in the middle of all this. The second thing that we sent over was this deal with the medical device tax. There are more than 70 Democrat senators have already said they don't like the medical device tax. They've already been on record with a test vote. In fact, Al Franken has a major part of his website that says here are the areas he's fighting the medical device tax, trying to get rid of it. So we sent that over and said we want this to deal with. This is bipartisan. And then we did send over a delay and said there are major issues with the Affordable Care Act and how it's being rolled out, whether it be unions complaining about that, whether that be individuals, whether it be navigators that say they don't understand what they're doing yet, they don't have access to the exchanges yet. There are lots of problems. We said, okay, let's put this into a delay mode and try to protect folks that are very frustrated with what's happening in the rollout.
All right, but Congressman, the Senate has made it absolutely clear that the delay, the idea of a one-year delay in the implementation of the Affordable Care Act is not going to happen, and they are going to send this bill back to you without the delay in it. And when that happens, it looks like, barring something totally unforeseen, the government will shut down. So I'm asking you, when the House gets this back and that delay is out of it, what are you guys going to do?
I will wait, and I'll defer to the Speaker on that as far as what the total plan is for the whole conference. That's not up to one member to determine, but I would assume we're going to send something back to them again. As we did with the defund, it came back. We sent them back the delay. We've sent over 40 bills over to the Senate expressing specific concerns in different parts of the law. The Senate just continues to ignore all of those. We've got to get to a point that the Senate actually looks at it and says there are problems with this law. Now, I understand full well that there are many senators that believe in the hope and the dream of what this law will do for many people, but there are also many people, constituents that I have, Republicans and Democrats, that say they have concerns about what's rolling out. They were told that if they like their insurance, they could keep it. They're finding out in many ways they cannot keep it. Their spouses are being dropped. The 30-hour work week is going away. Many of the union leaders in my district are extremely frustrated with what's happening right now. There are lots of concerns about the Independent Payment Advisory Board coming on next year and what that will mean to health care choices through physicians and patients. There are real issues here, and while the President has stepped up and said if there are legitimate concerns, let's address them, we've yet to have a single time in 3 years that the Senate has ever responded with a fix, has ever responded back and said, okay, we see that problem as well, let's try to resolve it. It's never happened. We have to at least face the facts and the reality. There are real problems on the ground, and there are people that are going to be affected by this negatively. When I know the hope was everything would work out great, there are also people that are going to be negatively impacted by this. We want to fix that.
So, Congressman, in your district, I know that there are people who are not insured. Right. And I'm wondering what you're going to tell them to do, because the issues that you said, there are problems, there are glitches. I respect that. But those problems you described or issues are for people who have insurance. People are going to be able to start, the enrollment period starts Tuesday. Are you going to tell people in your district who don't have insurance not to get insurance? Are you going to tell them don't use this opportunity to get health insurance?
No, of course I wouldn't do that. But let me just give you an illustration. You mentioned my district specifically. In Oklahoma, we have something called Insure Oklahoma. It's a state plan where we partner together with Medicare, where we put in additional state funds into that, and we pursue, and there are commercials that are out, there are ways that we've done for years to try to pursue the uninsured to help them get into an affordable plan that actually subsidizes them and helps them work up through to get more insurance, but protects them in that. We had to fight for 2 years to keep Insure Oklahoma as a part of what we're doing. They've now given us a 1-year waiver to maintain that before that goes away. I've had individuals that are on Insure Oklahoma, in fact, that are Democrats that are on Insure Oklahoma, that have said they want to keep that and maintain their same insurance because they like it. They're going to lose it next year as well. So both of those concerns are really out there. We understand we have to address both of them, but we can't just have the Senate step back and say, we're going to do, it's all or nothing. We're never going to fix anything. We're never going to take any of this on. We just say, let's do a pause. let's try to figure out all the things that have to be resolved, and there are many.
Clear, sir, you are going to advise people to enroll in your state.
No.
You are going to advise them, right?
No, I'm not going to tell people what to do on it. I'm going to allow individuals to be able to choose.
Said you were going to, but okay.
No, I'm not going to try to stop people. I'm not going to try to jump in their way and say, please don't sign up for insurance. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. I don't think it's a role as a congressman to go to any individual in my district and try to tell them what to do.
Congressman, Josh Green from Bloomberg Businessweek magazine, could you tell me what you expect to happen when the government shuts down? Do you think American people are going to rally to the side of Republicans and put pressure on the White House?
You know, I've been very interested by your dialogue earlier, not you specifically, but the whole group. It seems like there's an impression that Republicans are rushing towards a shutdown as if this is something we're gleefully excited about. That's just not intellectually honest based on what's trying to approach. We're trying to deal with the real issues.
Well, even if you're not excited about it, what do you expect the effect will be?
Well, I expect the two things. One is I would hope the Senate would take up what 100% of the House voted on last night to make sure the troops and the civilians that are around them are not affected by this. We passed all of our appropriations bills for defense, for VA, for Homeland Security. The Senate hasn't taken up any of those to resolve it, so that leaves us with a problem with that. Then the second part of it, well, it's really a government slowdown more than a shutdown. People in my office have already been notified which would be furloughed, which would be maintained. That will happen in government offices, and it already has happened this past week in government offices all over the country, where the president has the option to be able to choose which one is essential, which one non-essential. Will function at a slower level for several days until we can get this resolved. Hopefully we can get it resolved before then. If we have good negotiations, I would anticipate that we would do a short-term extension for a few days while we work out the paperwork and to be able to get that done. The House and the Senate can work extremely fast when they choose to. It's just a matter of now, let's get to it.
Well, final question to your Congressman, though. If this comes down to it, can you see yourself voting? Would you be open to voting for something that funds the government, that does not delay Obamacare for a year, that does not defund Obamacare, that lets the Affordable Care Act be implemented? Could you ultimately vote for something that allows the government to open, that allows the government to function, and that allows the Affordable Care Act to function? Is that possible for you?
If we are negotiating for a few days and trying to work out the details of something, yes, where it's a short-term extension and try to resolve some issues, but we have to address the very real problems that are out there and not just ignore them. We can't just say there's a dream of what we hope it will be when we know the reality on the ground, what's really occurring in many places, and just pretend that's not happening.
All right, Congressman James Lankford, Republican from Oklahoma, we thank you for joining us this morning, and we'll pick up this conversation with the panel as soon as we come back.